Do we talk over? We're talking, right?
We talk once we're on.
Okay.
Are we on?
Yep, we're on. Yep.
We're
Oh,
on.
okay.
Check.
I'm eating breakfast over here.
What do we got?
We got bacon and eggs, some smoked sausage
Ooh.
from the gas station.
The John Roser special.
I got up at 5:45. Yep.
5:45. Must be nice.
I gotta get stretched out.
I know. I got up at 4:45 to get stretched out.
So, fun fact. Not really a fun fact, but
Aren't all facts fun?
been
If you
ramping
make
up
them
the
fun?
squats
Oh.
for the low back. Yesterday was a tough one. I went up
Squatted
like
too
10
hard.
pounds. I have to tie, do the belt around my waist to keep my back like kind of straight. But woke up this morning, the right glute felt some like that giant nerve or muscle there, and felt a little,
Yeah.
like, oh crap, could I be getting sciatic nerve pain? So it took me a little longer this morning to get going. But we're good. We're Gucci.
good?
We're Gucci like Maine.
We Gucci?
Yep. We're Gucci like Dimna. Dimna's like the head of Gucci now. I saw that this morning.
Really?
Yeah. I'm up on game.
You're all caught up.
Tapped in. I hope the people can't hear me eating. I'm sorry.
They can. Yesterday I went back and watched our show and it just started with me going. I was like, wow, what a hook. What a way to pull the people in.
Yeah,
It was after a game.
Playboy
day.
Cardi
I was a
finally
little
dropped an
tired.
album.
Thoughts?
I've gotten to I've only listened to like 2 songs.
It's 1,000,000 hours long.
Yeah, it's 30 songs. He did with the first song, Pop Out. He popped out.
He popped out.
He said, what is the most just racket noise I can make to open an album? And that's what that song is. It is noise.
I haven't
But the
listened to
second
the
song's
Gaga
great.
album.
The second song's great.
I'm going to have to give it a listen.
Yeah.
Saw Doechii re-released with Anxiety.
Right, yeah. Alligator Bites the Real. Great album. But yeah, like, why are you putting that song on that album? That album's
Because
already
we
been out.
can. Because
Yeah.
numbers.
It's not part of that album.
What's up, everybody? It is Friday, March 14th. It is going to be a good day. It is going to be a great weekend. Jessica Benson with you from the Grind City Media Studios in Memphis, Tennessee. John Roser behind the glass in for CJ Hurt today. Coming up on today's show, Big Grizz weekend. The best team in the NBA comes to Memphis tonight, then Saturday. Mr. First Team, the Grindfather, Tony Allen's jersey will go up in the rafters. We'll get into all things Grizzlies. Lang Whitaker is going to join us. We'll get his thoughts on the Grizzlies week that was, the weekend that is to be. Then we'll catch you up on everything you need to know from conference tournament action yesterday. Cooper Flagg's injury. Ole Miss had a crazy win. A BYU player's great-grandpa might be one of the most important figures in American history. This is March. These are the things you learn. Then it is a 191 collab night for Grizzlies Cavs, and Memphis's own Bree and her clothing line Berserk is coming in. We're going to talk about tonight's collection. She's also the halftime performer for tonight's game. It's fun. It's a Friday. You know what we say. Hi-ya! That was good, Roser.
Yeah.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Number 9, man. I'm gonna be ready and hype. Let's just gonna be hype. My battle gonna be up right next to my brothers, Zebo, Big Spain. It's a great feeling, man. Never imagined this. I didn't think this would ever be a thing, and it's one of the biggest days of my life. I'm looking forward to it.
Anticipate each challenge. Make a quick response. Capitalize on every opportunity. And win. Greatness won't wait. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
Tony was the defensive guy, but Zebo was the offensive guy. So you could speak to this. It's way worse when you're getting doubled, right?
You got triple. I had went through that for it when I was in Portland.
You had me on the team. You got triple. You hear me, Rose? You can't talk about those. You got to talk about triples.
You got triple team.
This man was scoring on 3 dudes.
Swing, TA.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
You've coached a lot of different versions of the SEC, and obviously there's never been one deeper than this. What's it like been coaching in this?
The reason for the league being so good is the commitment. Commitment to coaching, commitment to facilities, commitment to the NIL across the board. There is not anybody in our league that's not investing in all those things.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Feels great to feel the sunshine. Gotta own the day like it's all mine. Just got paid in his own time. Been working hard, I've been on the grind. I deserve this feeling, having my way. I've been on this healing. This is my day. The sun's out, let's have a little fun now. I wanna let it all out. That's what it's all about. Cause I deserve this feeling, having my way. I deserve this healing. This is my day.
Grind City Media presents The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt. Live from the Grind City Media Studios on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. We made it to the end of the week. Big Grizzlies weekend ahead, and I can't wait for it. I wanted to give a big shout out, though, to John Roser, who's a capital A ally during Women's History Month, helping in the booth this morning. Gonna fill in on the post-game radio show tonight so I can host Faith and Family Night on Women's Empowerment Night. It's 2 nights at FedEx Forum tonight.
It's my church. It's my church who's putting that on.
Well, it's Bethany Hamilton, soul surfer herself,
Hope Church,
who's going to be here for a conversation
Hope
after the Grizzlies beat the Cavs.
Yeah, shout out to
Preach it.
Pastor Rufus and Pastor Eli.
I work with all allies for the women's movement.
We're here.
You're here. Bennett's
here.
going to do the pregame show for me while I do other women things.
Shout out Dochi.
Shout out Dochi. Shout out Anxiety.
Yeah.
Shout out everything. Shout out the Grizzlies. Before we get into it, did you see the blood moon last night?
I don't know what that is.
You didn't see the blood moon?
I don't know what that is.
It's it's like a part of a lunar eclipse that everybody in North America could see, and it turns the moon bright red.
Oh, that's cool.
And I totally forgot about it. And
Yeah,
apparently it
I
was clear enough that you could see it here.
I didn't know about that.
I know. I was bummed. I was
That
asleep.
stinks. Because the backyard, my backyard
You
is
could see
like,
it.
yeah, you usually can. My backyard is like, you can see all the stars and everything like that.
All the
and there's
stars.
apps. Did you know this?
Yes, I'm aware there are things called apps.
There are apps that
There's
will
an
tell
app for
you.
everything.
It will tell you what the star is.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like the apps that tell you what a flower is.
Girlfriend uses them all the time. She's like, look,
Like a constellation app?
I don't know.
That's cool.
It's an app.
When's the last time you went to a planetarium? Yeah, put you on the spot.
Okay, probably 4th grade. The
Okay.
Pink Palace Planetarium, they did, okay, this I'm going to show my age. There used to be a radio station in town called 96X.
Okay.
If you know, you know. Shout out Pusha T. It was 95.7 on your FM dials, 96X, all right?
Okay.
They played alternative rock. So like your Nirvana, your Soundgarden, Pearl Jam, Stone Temple Pilots. It was alternative rock. They did a show at the planetarium, and they just played a bunch of alternative rock music and had stuff, you know, show on the screen. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's the last time I went to one.
I haven't been to one in forever. I was just curious. My Yahoo Sports newsletter of the day that Kendall Baker puts out. If you don't sign up for that, it's an awesome way to just get random sports information every morning to start. But he had a story on this thing called Cosm, which is essentially like a mini version of the Sphere in Las Vegas, but it's planetarium style. And they think it's the future of watching sports without going to the game. It's going to be like a huge planetarium-like screen. And they already have one in...
Oh, yeah, they've got one in L.A. and Dallas.
Yes, and they're having... But Detroit's getting one.
Okay.
I was like, if Detroit's getting one, can't we get one?
You are so not up on game. This has been going on for a while now, this place
It's
has.
so cool.
You got to follow Colin Cowherd. Colin Cowherd goes. He goes there on Sundays. He on NFL Sundays, he would go there. And college football Saturdays, he would go and watch there.
I want to see a game there.
It looks up.
It actually looks
it's a
awesome.
it looks amazing. Like you're
It's
literally.
like remember when we had ESPN Zone and that was like the hot new thing? I mean,
loved
now everybody
ESPN
has a million
Zone.
screens all the time.
I loved
ESPN Zone. I
Great.
celebrated my 16th birthday.
Had
at ESPN
amazing
Zone.
milkshakes. Amazing milkshakes at ESPN Zone. At least the one in Chicago did.
Okay. I
One
just
in
like the
Baltimore was
Papa-Shot
pretty
game.
cool. The one in Chicago was amazing. It was also right next to the Disney place. The Disney like arcade area.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the ESPN Zone and the Disney
have the
like
best things in this world.
Yeah, they were in Chicago. They're like right next to each other. It was amazing.
Well, anyway, I'm excited about this Cosm thing, and it made me think I want to go to a planetarium, and I wish that I would have seen the blood moon last night. But I will get to see Grizzlies Cavs tonight at FedEx Forum.
Yep.
Exciting weekend all around. Obviously, Tony Allen's jersey retirement is going to be huge on Saturday. The energy will be great. But let's go in chronological order because first up, the number one team in the NBA, the Cleveland Cavaliers, riding a 15-game winning streak, John Roser, will come into FedEx Forum tonight. They have not played since Tuesday. Do you know what they've been doing?
They went to Nashville.
They went to Nashville. They didn't even provide for our local economy. They went to Nashville, and coming off of Darius Garland's egregious comments saying that the Grizzlies should move to Nashville because Darius Garland is from Nashville, went to Vanderbilt. I thought this was rude from the Cleveland Cavaliers, and they posted this video on all their social channels of them having fun in the sun out at the Vanderbilt football field. At first I was like, are they practicing at Nissan? No, they're at the Vanderbilt football field, which, you know, Diego Pavia forever. But like still, they're just having a good old time. Why don't you focus on winning a 16th game? Haven't done that this year. I don't want to taunt them into it because they have two 15-game winning streaks on the year. They also had a 12-game winning streak. But it is incredible that when I saw they were riding a 15-game win streak, you go to look and you're like, well, surely they have to be playing the Grizzlies on the second night of a back-to-back. Maybe the Grizzlies can take advantage. No, they've just been off. They've just been off playing football. Saw Sam Merrill kick like a 23-yard field goal.
Former Grizzly Sam Merrill.
I don't want death by Sam Merrill tonight.
I don't want death by Sam Merrill either.
And I don't want death by Ty Jerome.
That too.
They're without Donovan Mitchell. He's out.
So we're winning. They're not beating us without Donovan Mitchell.
They're 5-0 without Donovan Mitchell this season.
They're not beating us without Donovan Mitchell.
I would agree.
They're not going to beat
He
us.
had 33.
We played well against them in Cleveland.
Exactly.
They're not beat. We're going to win tonight. Jared's going to play. We're going to win.
So that is the big exciting potential situation for the Grizzlies.
If we can't beat them without Donovan Mitchell
and with Jaren Jackson Jr.,
we're cooked.
I wouldn't say we're cooked. The Cavs are deep.
Cooked.
They have 55 wins on the season.
They do.
I'm not going to say losing to a Cavs team.
Why do
without
I do
Donovan
this?
Mitchell.
Why do I go like
why the extreme?
We're here and but it's only when I'm on this show with you.
It's because it's the morning. It's because your brain hasn't fully formed for the rest of the day, so you just say some
Or
wildish.
maybe I just like you to get. It's like CJ just to get a reaction out of
Maybe.
you.
That's what CJ does.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just me here, that booth there. Maybe you're not an ally.
Well, I'm an ally.
Makes for
Definitely
good
an ally.
capital C content. I won't say that we're cooked, but I do think it significantly increases the Grizzlies' odds if the Cavs starting point guard who averages 24 points and leads that entire offense, leads the number one offense in the NBA, is out for the team. DeAndre Hunter is probable.
Yeah.
He has an illness. Don't know what the illness is. The illness is sweeping again. The illness. I don't know which illness. The whole Kristaps Porzingis situation in Boston is odd. He has something, they don't know what.
Yeah.
I just saw one of my musical theater pages showed that a couple shows on Broadway canceled because of illness through the cast. I thought we were done with that. I thought we were past winter. Not like done with illness, period. But I thought we were out of the danger zone.
Well, I don't know. Gary's been sick for like a month.
He's getting better.
He's not.
Yes, he is. He sounded a million times better on Monday than he did last Friday.
I saw him open the show yesterday, and he was struggling over
Back
it.
to the cough.
And then especially when he had to talk about the guy in Horn Lake hooking up with the dog.
That was crazy.
Like,
It was wild. We're not going to talk about dog incest. Is it dog incest?
I think it's just called bestiality.
Bestiality.
Yeah.
The more straightforward
Because I
terminology.
don't think the guy's related to the dog.
I don't know. Some people treat their dogs like family.
Well, I
Get to
mean,
this
I think
point.
most people do. But anyways. Gary's still sick. Don't let him fool you.
DeAndre Hunter's probable.
DeAndre Hunter's probable.
And the Cavs
No,
did-
we have to. No. Stand on business.
Okay.
We're cooked if we can't beat them without Donovan Mitchell.
Fine.
Donovan Mitchell's going to be like first team All NBA.
Yes.
Or second team. Donovan Mitchell's making one of the first 2 teams of All NBA. He absolutely is. Like, we can't. If you can't beat them without him, then no. It's. Like, you only got a couple more of these chances.
Because we did
no,
the
you
whole
have
cooked
to.
thing
No,
after
no,
the
no.
Grizzlies lost
No.
4 straight games
No,
and 3 of them in the final seconds here at FedEx Forum, and I was like, oh my God, this team's gonna be a 5 seed. And now the Grizzlies are back again in the 2 seed spot in the Western Conference, and there is I used the word volatile situation yesterday, which is certainly true.
I don't care what the Grizzlies seed is. I don't care if the Grizzlies. This is true. The Grizzlies can get the 2 seed.
Sure.
If they can't beat the Cleveland Cavaliers at home without Donovan Mitchell, and they can't go on the road and beat the Oklahoma City Thunder, which I don't expect them to, and they can't beat the Lakers at home when they play them soon, and they can't beat the Celtics, and they can't beat the Warriors at home, then it don't matter if we win the rest of the games and get the 2 seed. Like, that stuff doesn't matter. No, you have to beat the Cavs without Donovan Mitchell at home. When you're going to have Jaren, Ja, and Dez, when you got your big three, and they don't have their first team All-NBA guy,
you have to win.
You have to win that game.
Jaren's
you have
questionable.
to.
He's questionable.
Jaren's going to play. He wouldn't be questionable if he wasn't going to
It's
play.
incredible. We called Jaren Jackson Jr. the unicorn, and he is in unique territory because we never even got a doubtful. Never even got a flirt of a doubtful, just straight to questionable on the Grizzlies injury report that dropped yesterday for tonight's game. I do think that he will likely play. I think this game is obviously a more important game, statement-like game. The Cavs being without Donovan Mitchell, the narrative that the Grizzlies have not been able to beat the top teams in the NBA. Yes, you have the Celtics win. That feels like 853 centuries ago at this point. Yes, you had a Nuggets win early in the season when Jokic was out for Denver, and Denver's a much different team today than they were then. But as of late, since the calendar year turned, the Grizzlies haven't gotten a big one. They've gotten big fish fishing, and they haven't been able to get the Thunder, the Knicks, and now you have a chance against the Cavs. And if you get them not at full strength, you take it as a gift. And they've just been chilling in Nashville. Put that video of them playing football on every single screen in this place and use it as motivation. Don't let Darius Garland pop off. It's one thing for the Cavs without Donovan Mitchell to come back down double digits to the Brooklyn Nets and win. It's another to come into the current 2 seed in the Western Conference, the Memphis Grizzlies, and have similar effects. To get Jaren back, much has been said about this, but it cannot be said enough. Like, if there was ever a case for Jaren Jackson Jr. being the Defensive Player of the Year, it has been these games without Jaren Jackson Jr.
Yeah, they can't guard
the Memphis
anybody.
Grizzlies. Like, Exhibit A, here, it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
And getting him back is huge. Get him being able to play is big for his ultimate quest of All-NBA, of Defensive Player of the Year. So he gets to that 65-game mark. So, of course, he was going to come back as soon as possible. Seeing that ankle roll, it was scary in real time. It didn't seem like it could be a forever thing. And then when we saw that it was going to be week to week and not the dreaded, we'll reevaluate in 2 weeks. That was good. You mentioned Ja. I don't want to jinx it because it feels like it does turn into a jinx every time this happens. But if he plays tonight, it will be the first time that we've seen Ja Morant play 6 games in a row since 2023.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It has been 2 seasons since we've seen Ja play 6 straight.
Is this like a great advertisement for, is it cortisone or Toradol? Which is the
Whatever
shot?
it is. We don't know.
Is it a Toradol shot? Is it a cortisone shot?
We don't know the specificities of the shot.
Cortisone shots are crazy like that. So
They really are.
Mine lasted, I had one in my shoulder, and mine lasted about 2 weeks.
Okay.
But Hasseltine told me that he had one in his hip, and it lasted him like 2 to 3 months.
I had one in my back.
Yeah.
And it lasted just a week.
Like a nerve block?
No cortisone shot.
A cortisone shot. I've had a nerve block, and a nerve block lasted me about 2 weeks.
Okay.
Which sucked. They said it's supposed to last. It could last 3 years.
Complete difference maker.
Yeah.
And allowed me to do some strength training, and I think ultimately helped get things back.
Right.
But we have seen a different Ja since that game against the Dallas Mavericks, and the second half
No.
and then doing the interview, and then he says in the halftime interview. And so, like, there's something to be made of that.
Okay,
This
so-
is a pain management league.
No, it is. It's a pain management league. It's a lot of things league, whatever. Target Darius Garland. Like, I do ultimately think the Cavaliers, I think the Grizzlies will run into, I think long-term the Grizzlies will run into similar problems as I think the Cavs will this year in the playoffs. I think the Cavs are awesome. I think they could go to the finals. I think they could win it depending on matchups. But I do think that, like, dude, teams are going to target Garland and Mitchell in the playoffs.
Yes.
Like, they're going to, now, I don't know if anybody in the East outside of Boston is going to be good enough to take advantage of it. But, like, Garland and Mitchell are small. That is a small backcourt that is not good defensively. Like, teams are going to target that. I think the Grizzlies will have the same issue with their backcourt long term too. But Darius Garland, like, he's a really good player, but go at him, challenge him, like, make that guy guard. But Evan Mobley's back there, and he can, obviously cover up a lot of things too. And Mobley got the best of Jaren last time in that
He
matchup.
did.
Mobley
and that's
got the
why,
best
again,
of him.
I think Jaren comes back in a prove-it type game.
He absolutely
Because if you are
will.
looking at Defensive Player of the Year candidates, it's Jaren, it's Evan Mobley, who is on the #1 team in the NBA, and that does tend to factor into postseason awards. And then I guess Dyson Daniels has made a charge. But
Dyson Daniels, and nobody on the Hawks is winning Defensive Player of the Year. They're under 500. That eliminates you
Going
from winning
back to the
Defensive Player of the Year.
record part of
Wemby was going to win it before, and it would have been a sham then, too. Your team cannot suck and you win Defensive Player of the Year. I'm sorry. Like, that can't happen.
I have a really important question for you.
I love important questions.
Did you see the Grizzlies team photo that was released yesterday?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Team photo release.
When did they release
Love to
it?
see it. Yesterday
Is it
afternoon.
on X?
I think they took it yesterday morning.
On the gram? Yeah, I know they had Team Photo Day yesterday.
Okay. It's wonderful. We love the smiling faces. This will hang in the lobby.
Where are all the coaches? They can't fit them in there. There's like 47 of them.
Too many coaches for the photo.
No, know the hall we walk through when we go in the
Yes.
building. They've got all the pictures of the teams.
They do.
The coaches are all there.
They are.
They can't now because we
Because
have
they
way
too
more
many
coaches than players.
Well, there's one player who's missing from this picture,
Hang
and I
on.
need you to answer the
Hang
question.
hang on.
That an entire nation has.
Hang on. Ja, Kennard, Pippen, Zion Pullen, Jalen, Bagley. Yuki's with the hustle.
I know.
Yeah, Yuki's with the hustle. They're in Long Island. They lost last night. They freaking blew a 15-point lead. Don't get me started on them.
Couldn't we Photoshop him in?
I think we should.
Zion's in
Honestly,
there.
I think photoshopping Yuki in every picture makes it better.
I actually agree.
Like any picture. The
people in
Memphis
Japan-
Zoo's going to post a picture today of something.
And they should put Yuki in
And
it.
just Photoshop Yuki in there.
I don't think we market Yuki enough. Like, everybody just wants to see Yuki in their lives.
They do.
And I saw the comments on that picture were so many saddened Japanese Grizzlies fans who were looking for Yuki Kawamura and couldn't find him in that picture. And I know he's with the hustle, but I'm like, why?
Yeah.
I want that commemorated because we do walk through that hallway. And for people who don't know, there's a hallway that, like, the media entrance, one of the entrances through the garage here at FedEx Forum, has the team picture from every single year.
Yeah.
So you're walking through it constantly. It was fun yesterday walking with Devin Walker through it and looking at Tony Allen in every single one of the pictures through the years.
Yeah.
But there's always one guy, or if you look at last year's team picture, there's many guys, but you're like, who is
Always.
that?
There's always.
And I would never do that for Yuki. But I will say, Zion Pullman,
Oh, he's going to
his
be one of
life
them.
is his NBA life is still very young. There is so much room, so much space ahead for him. But I guarantee sometime down the line, I will be walking down that hallway and I will be like, who is that guy on the end?
Unless he turns into a player.
And then
Unless
you're like,
if he turns into a
remember
player.
that one time that Zion Pullman was on the edge of that?
There's going to be a lot of team photos that are like that, especially now that there are the 3 two-way spots.
Yes.
Because there's two-way players, they come and go. Like, they're in and out a lot. So I'm with you. I think they should have photoshopped Yuki in there. Are we going to have a separate photo for the assistant coaches?
Maybe. They'll put it underneath. They'll put a
All
small
right, we got
photo under the
4,
big photo.
8, 12, 16. There's 17 players in the picture. Plus Taylor, that's 18. We definitely have more than 18 assistants. We definitely do.
It's a lot.
There's more than 18 quarter zips back there.
It's a lot of quarter zips.
It's a lot of quarter zips.
It's a lot of quarter
I'm
zips.
jealous. I'm a fan of the quarter zip.
I was
going
to try to do the math of if you have 18 quarter zips, how many quarters is in the zip, but that's too many.
That's
so we're
way
just gonna,
too many
We're just going to take a quick break because
Okay.
Lang Whitaker is going to join us on the other side, and we'll talk about Saturday's big night against the Miami Heat and the Tony Allen jersey retirement. We'll get Lang's thoughts on all things Grizzlies from this week. We've missed Lang, so we're excited to welcome him back. He'll join us when we come back.
We touched on this earlier, the panel here, about what really has been the mainstay of the Grizzlies, and that's Jaren Jackson Jr. Trip has just been awesome.
He's posting guys up. He's stronger than he's ever been. He's physical, and he's scoring all type of ways.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Can't wait. It's time to get it popping.
It's going to be crazy. The fans are going to be loud. We need just energy.
Back to Jared for the flush.
We're going to need, the form rocking. We're going to need, everybody in Memphis to be out there to come to support. When the fans are good, we're good. Simple as that.
A Bane 3. Yes, sir. Desmond Bane with ice water in his veins.
We'll ride the energy together.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no-looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzly stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
I never in a million years would have ever thought that John Cena's final run would be as a heel.
I love it.
I love it.
Once they saw this from The Rock.
They knew it. Everybody knew it except for Cody, which was so good.
Great camera work by WWE.
And then the kick. Yeah, I don't think WWE gets enough credit for the camera work and the production quality. I mean, it is incredible.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Grizz Nation gets set for tip-off 1 hour before every Grizzlies home game with the warm-up show. Get the latest news, notes, and analysis live from courtside at FedEx Forum.
This team is doing everything that Taylor Jenkins and his coaching staff envisioned it could do.
Join me, Lang Whitaker, along with Michael Wallace, Jessica Benson, and other personalities from Grind City Media, Memphis, and around the NBA. 1 hour before every home game, live at Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
Back. It is Friday, and we are so very excited for Lang Whitaker to join us from his home.
Yo!
Welcome back, Lang.
Thank
and
you.
I say welcome back,
Roses.
and
Yeah.
some people might have noticed. I've had a lot of people reach out to me this week. A lot of people come up to me at the games and say, where's Lang been? And I'm like, he'll be back. Don't worry. He's going to come back soon. But
He'll be back.
You're back today with us via Zoom, which is wonderful. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Good.
I got to spend about a week in the hospital.
Fun.
Which, I learned a lot about the hospital. But I went to the doctor like a week ago for a physical, and they were like, you should probably go to the hospital right away. And so I got to run an ambulance and spend a couple days in the ICU, and then a couple days in the normal part. And then I got to come home this week So I'm working my way out of the house. I'm hoping I can get there Saturday night for the Tony Allen game. But yeah, it's been a long time. I watched a lot of Golden Girls on the
that was your hospital show of choice?
Yeah, it was awesome. That show was hilarious. I didn't realize how funny it was.
It is
I watched a lot of Golden Girls. Got pretty intimate with the dining schedule. So I kind of learned when meals are coming. I became a huge proponent of. It's hard to sleep in the hospital because they just wake you up all night, and like you'll be like dead asleep 3 o'clock, and all of a sudden all the lights are on, and they're like, "Hey, we're here to take blood." You're like, "All right, great." But so I became a big proponent of the post-breakfast nap. I don't know, like Jessica, that might be something you know.
That's like my days.
Work in the morning, yeah. I became a huge fan of that. Like that's great to wake up, eat your breakfast, and then everything kind of settles down. Yeah, then go back to sleep for like an hour or two, and they don't mess with you then. So it was a long time. By the way, shout out to you checking in on me. But the person who texted me the most when I was in the hospital and like multiple times a day, John Roser.
Oh, Roser's the best checker-upper.
Yeah.
I would give you
I'm a checker-upper. Well,
MVP checker-inner when anything is going wrong.
I actually feel bad because there was something that was, I know. Last Saturday, I was going to come see you. I was going to come visit you in the hospital. I was going to come visit you last Saturday. And I completely lost track of time, and I looked up, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I've got dinner reservations in like an hour and a half, and I've still got to shower." Like
Well,
so,
I do think it's always. I
didn't think you probably you don't want people to see you laying in a hospital room. I get it.
And there's like the over communication. I was texting your wife, but then I didn't want to over text her. It's really bizarre because this was happening to you, and then one of my best friends didn't have a similar thing where she went in for a physical, but just had a crazy onset of symptoms and ended up in the ICU and they found a blood clot in her brain. And she's now out and she's on anti-clotting medication, but she was in the hospital for 7 days. So you're both going through this, and it's you want to know everything that's going on with these people you care about in the hospital, but you don't want to overwhelm, and you don't always want to overwhelm the people who are with them either. And it's a really crazy thing, and it just makes you put a big spotlight on health. And I'm not sure if you going in an ambulance from your physical is a good PR for, hey, men, go get your physicals. Because I've been trying to convince my husband to go have his yearly physical. And your people just always are slower to go to the doctor.
I get mine every year.
You get yours every year.
April.
Well, Chris
coming up in April.
Chris came back and he was like, I actually looked at my calendar, and I do have a physical schedule. So I will be going.
Every year I get one.
But we are glad that you're back.
My wife, thank you. My wife did the same thing to me. It was like, you got to go. And I kept putting it off. And then when I finally made the appointment, I couldn't get in for like 3 months, because like they're so booked up. Yeah. So by the time I finally went, it was a whole thing. So, I mean, shout out to your friend who's on the blood thinners. I'm on the same team now.
Are you on the same thing? Oh, that's crazy. Yeah. Well, and Roser and I are basically doctors because we watched The Pit.
Yeah.
And we didn't watch last night.
You didn't have a druggy doctor, did you?
Did she watch it during?
No.
Okay.
Yes, she was watching it while I was in the hospital. I was like, "Do not watch this show." Like,
my friend watched. You watched Golden Girls. My friend watched Scrubs, and she really enjoyed because Scrubs is a comedy, and she would like call out certain treatments that she was getting or different things like that, not being able to sleep in the emergency room and all of that. But then I was watching the second to last episode of The Pit last night, and they have a young woman who has a stroke, and they're talking about clotting, and I'm like, what are the odds? And then I'm thinking to myself, I hope she doesn't watch this. Like, I really hope that she's not, because I guess there was one on Scrubs where the person died. So that is the risk of watching a medical-related show when you are in the hospital. It's like, oh, great, this is the least comforting thing that I could be doing right now. So I vote Golden Girls.
I saw somebody in the chat ask if I'd been around Gary Parrish. I have not.
He's getting everyone sick. It's the Gary disease.
Yeah, Jessica tried to tell me that he's getting better, and I was like, I watched him get short of breath in the show open yesterday.
He's getting better. That's getting better.
He needs to go to a doctor.
Yeah, well,
he needs to go see a doctor. Chris, look, no. Chris told me about this place. I think they've got like 2 of them in town, but there's one. It's like Poplar and Highland, pretty much like where Jason's Deli and Atan are. It's this place you just go in, and you basically you don't have to sit in a waiting room. You have to pay extra. It's not like you got to pay a copay. Like you pay, I think it's like $100 or a little more than that. But it's like, boom, you go to the back immediately, and they take care of you. Chris had a bunch of crud. He said he went in there, knocked it out immediately.
Well, good.
Said he felt way better. Like, Gary, go do it.
Well,
you do
Lang,
have time to go. Everybody should have time for it.
When you weren't sleeping and being treated and taking care of very important things, the Memphis Grizzlies are on a 4-game winning streak. What has been your favorite thing about this Grizzlies 4-game winning streak as they go into a big one tonight against the Cavs?
So I have this theory that when Tom Brady was the Patriots quarterback, that like all the receivers used to just get like season-ending concussions. They would just get they would get hurt at some point during the season. But Brady was able to shine, right? And Brady got all the glory. Brady was the Mr. Golden Boy and all that. But all the receivers were always getting hurt and beat up and everything. And I think Tom Brady had to sacrifice those guys for himself.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that was me with the Grizzlies. I had to sacrifice myself to get the Grizzlies out of that swoon. And now we're back, and now we're looking good again. I was watching the games. Roser sent me the YouTube clip of what movie is that from, Roser? The guy celebrating in the hospital.
Oh, Major League 2, Lou Brown. Yeah, he's got the game on the radio in his ear, but it's like some British show on television. And when the Indians, when he jumps up and starts screaming, the doctors are like, he goes, I love this shit.
I forgot which game it was. It was the game we had on TV the other night, last week. But I had the same situation. I was like Shooter and Hoosiers. Remember when they win and he's in the drying out in the drunk tank and he's jumping up and down on the bed?
Yeah.
I was that guy in the hospital. I was watching all the games on my laptop or on TV.
Not great for your heart. Not great.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's been
it's
a
good
little
exercise. It got things going a little bit. It was
good test.
But I think you're seeing the Grizzlies start to focus on the things that matter to them, right? The offense has been really good. There's been fewer and fewer of those possessions where they come down and just don't know what to do and end up, you hear the trainer screaming out 5, 4. There's a fewer of those. And you're starting to see Ja and Bane, I think, playing together this much, starting to click a little more. You're more pick and rolls in the half court and fewer turnovers too. I think that's been a big part of this too. They've taken care of the ball.
Shout out Katie Babcock, the Grizzlies head trainer, who has become a local celebrity in her own right for being the shot clock counter and whose voice transcends across the entire broadcast. And if there's been a weakness over the last 4 wins, and listen, 4 wins are 4 wins. It gets you back into the 2 spot. It doesn't matter who you beat. Doesn't matter how it happened. You got the wins at the end of the day. It's the defense, and now presumably with Jaren Jackson Jr. questionable for tonight's game, that should improve the Grizzlies' defensive efforts as we enter into the last month of the regular season.
Yeah, you would hope so, and especially against a team tonight in Cleveland that has a lot of bigs, right? Mobley and Jared Allen are both guys who are, Mobley to me is sort of like a younger Jaren. And I feel like that, he doesn't have the dribble moves that Jaren has, but he has the size and the speed and all that stuff. And I think, especially against a team like that, you'd like to see Jaren tonight. But I think we've seen Zach Edey's look pretty good the last couple of weeks. Jay Huff has had some games where he came in and made a difference right away. So I think the depth of the Grizzlies is the other thing right now you're seeing that is really kind of paid dividends. And, I know all season Grizz Twitter yells at us about, why isn't this person playing? Why is this person playing? Whatever. They've done a pretty good job the last couple of weeks of pushing the right buttons and getting the right guys in the right times, I think.
Yeah, and even relying on someone like a Cam Spencer for a game, having Luke Kennard break out of a small shooting slump and then also dealing with that back soreness that kept him out for a couple, but then to tie his career high with 30 points. The last time when the Grizzlies hung with the Cavs, looking back on that box score and revisiting the last Grizzlies-Cavs game, there were contributions outside. The big three all played well, but then it was Luke Kennard with a couple threes off the bench, Santi Aldama, who is still out, with contributions off the bench. So it really has to be, when you're going up against the team with the best record in the NBA, #1 offense, top 10 defense, everything has to be working on all cylinders. And so we'll see what that looks like for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, I mean, and you also need like the Cavs had that Ty Jerome game the last time we played them. Like the Grizzlies need a Ty Jerome tonight. They need somebody we're not talking about right now to, like
Scottie
Kennard
Pippen Jr.
Yeah, or Pippen or Kennard went for 30 the other night. Like you need somebody like that to just have a game where they're kind of high. Maybe a Vince Williams.
I was going to say a Vince breakout game.
It'd be nice for Jalen Wells to snap out of his shooting slump.
It would be.
I saw you tweeted that, Roser, that he's been, for the month of March, I guess his numbers are all down.
The numbers have gone down in March, but they've been it's been like a big fall off. Like he's been, they've been worse than it was his first month in the season for that brief in October. So it makes me wonder, there's got to be a little bit of a wall there.
This is
it has
what
to
we
be.
see, this time of year is always with rookies. Especially it always hits you in March because then you're your brain takes you back to, this time last year they were in March Madness.
Right.
And either the NCAA tournament or the conference tournament or whatever. And then you think about going from playing 30 games to playing 82 games. It's natural that your body does hit a wall.
And you've already played double. You've already played double of what you're used to playing. Yeah.
But I think it's also at this point, Jalen Wells is starting to show up on opposing scout reports.
Right.
They've learned okay, he just wants to catch and shoot, so run him off the line, try to make him put the ball on the floor, whatever. I think teams are starting to kind of figure out the way he plays. And then that rookie wall thing, I remember when I worked at Slam, I used to write the rookie diary, and I would talk to a rookie throughout the season. Then every one of them come February, March would be like, no, the rookie wall is real. And Drew Gooden, I remember, was like, I just ran into the rookie wall because I just don't have anything left. So I think this is the point of the season where maybe, the schedule is lightened up a little bit for the Grizzlies. Maybe it gives them a little bit more of a chance to refresh and rest up a little bit. Because actually Jalen's been playing big minutes every game, and he gets beat up every single game. You see him coming off screens and never call anything. He's just getting hit in the head and everything over and over. Zach Edey's had portions of the season that he's missed and been able to not play heavy minutes. But Jalen's carried such a load for this team, and that's why I think he should be the Rookie of the Year.
I think there is a combination of that too, that it is scouting report, probably the wall, probably is showing up on the scouting reports now. It seems hey, this guy will kill you from the three-point. He'll knock down 4 or 5 threes if you just leave him out there. So, no, I think, probably is.
Lang, what was your first year here?
2017, something like that. It was a year before we drafted Jaren.
So it was the year after Tony Allen played his last season?
Yeah, Tony was on the Pelicans my first year there.
Okay.
But I have a great Tony story. Before this job, I worked for NBA.com, NBA TV, and there was one night the season before, it was when Tony was still on the Grizzlies. There was one night in 2015, 16, they were like, hey, give us your everyone send us in your top 5 defenders. There was one of those years Tony was hurt. It was toward the end. He'd been hurt most of the season. So I just, rattled off a couple guys on my thing, sent it in. And I guess they showed it on TV that night at some point, because the next day I woke up and I had a DM from Tony Allen. And he was like, hey, man, I thought we were cool. Why didn't you have me on your defender list? And I wrote back, I thought you were hurt. And, I can't wait to see you prove it in the postseason or whatever. But then I came to Memphis for the playoffs that year to cover the games and ran into Tony. And he was, like he always is, all smiles. He was all good with it. But it's funny, how much he actually cares about that. Right. And, having that recognition as one of the best defenders ever, which he deserves.
I hope that you can come tomorrow for the game, but obviously take care of yourself first and foremost.
I'm not gonna come tonight. Okay. I just feel like I need another day to get my legs under me and stuff. But I'm aiming for tomorrow night, and the 3 of us can do the warm up show, and we don't have to do a rewind tomorrow night, right? Or do we?
I think we do.
Okay.
I'm scheduled to do it solo, and I would just love to have you back.
Yeah, we'll see.
Love to have you back. And hopefully we're talking about a. Go ahead.
I thought if we don't have to do the rewind, it'll be great. I'll just, I can come do the pregame show, and then if I start getting tired, I'll just leave during the game.
Maybe we won't. I'll double check on that for you. I'll do some investigation.
It's all good. You can do it solo.
But I hope we're talking about a 6-game Grizzlies win streak. Is what I'm really hoping that we're talking about.
We haven't even mentioned the Miami Heat. That's who we're playing, right? Yeah.
It does kind of take a secondary seat to everything, and you hope that the team doesn't have it take, which they never do. We'll see who plays on the second night of a back-to-back. I can't say it again. They're calling me Jinxica Benson in the chat because I said Ja could play his 6th straight game tonight. Can you imagine if it's 7?
I also saw a Jinx Roser in there too, which is a good one.
Doesn't have quite the same ring to it. Doesn't have quite the same.
No.
Well, Lang, take care of yourself today. We hope to see you tomorrow. But no matter what, we'll see you next week.
Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate
you guys. See you soon.
You're the best.
Bye.
Bye. That was Lang Whitaker. Good to have him back. Also, schedule your damn doctor's appointments.
Schedule your doctor's
Schedule
appointments.
your doctor's appointments.
There's nothing wrong with going to the doctor.
I know it can be.
I will tell you my yearly physical, because I schedule it a year in advance.
Yes.
I do it. It's I do it at 8 or 8:30 in the morning. I'm always the first one on the. So I go in. Boom. They see me.
Oh, you're so
run
lucky.
the test, and I'm out.
You're so
And not
lucky.
kidding you, it takes me 15 to 20 minutes.
I
Except
have to do
for-
the afternoon.
Oh.
So I always get the
Yeah, so you got
sit
to
in the
wait.
waiting room for quite some time.
Well, that's
but I do
tough.
always find it very funny because I also do the year in advance thing, and it's like,
Yeah.
how does this day 365 days later at 2 p.m. work? And I'm like, sounds great. I have no idea what's going to be on the schedule that day. I
Yeah.
have no idea what life is going to be. I remember my second year in Memphis, so in the second year of my contract at Local 24, and I was at the OBGYN, and she was like, do you want to schedule your appointment for next year? And I said, no, I'm not going to be here. I'm going to be moving at that time. So it's been wonderful to have you as my OBGYN. Like, I really appreciate you here, but I'll be in a new city. My contract's up. I'll be moving. I got my 7th appointment with her coming up in September.
Yeah, when did you, wait,
She's
when
great.
was it?
This would have been like 2018.
That's when you moved here.
Well, I moved here in 2016.
2016.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this is 8.
If you hit 10, that means you're a Memphian.
Am I for real?
Yeah.
I think we're going
10
to make
means
it.
you're 10.
I think we're going to make it.
10 means you're a Memphian. That
You
means
have to make-
you're
you have to
here.
get 10?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, don't worry. I'm not going anywhere.
No, this city will suck you in. It will.
After about 2 years, it was like, I think, a couple years later, my contract's up again.
Yeah.
I'm going to be on the
No,
road.
I-
Great to meet you, doctors. It's been wonderful. Went through a weird healthcare, had like every specialist in the book. I'm like, thank you for your time. Thank you for your time.
There are things I dislike about this city, and I hate on this city, but like, I'm allowed to. I'm born and raised here. And there's a lot of things I love about this city.
Oh, I'm a fighter for this city.
No,
Oh,
absolutely. Me too.
I met somebody. This happens to me all the
There's
time.
a bunch of things that suck about every city if you really want to go into it. Like, I mean,
Facts.
it's everywhere.
Absolute fact.
But like,
When I
there's
was
a
at
lot
this-
of awesome things in this city. A lot of them.
When I was home last weekend, I ran into somebody who I was meeting for the first time, and I said I was from Memphis. And she goes, oh, my family lives in Collierville. And I was like, oh, cool. Like, do you go visit often? She goes, occasionally. And I was like, do you ever get downtown? I live downtown. Do you ever get downtown? And she goes, oh, no. And I go, oh, no?
Yeah.
And I
right.
like snapped at her. I was like, I'm sorry, we just met. But like, next time you're here, here's a list of restaurants. Here's the new park that's downtown. Get out there on a beautiful day. Hell, go to the Bass Pro Pyramid and go to the top and see everything.
So okay, so here now, I will go
stand for this city.
So no,
until my dying day.
You absolutely can stand for the city, but I will go a different way on this. That narrative needs to change, and it needs to change.
Desperately.
But it's gotten that. It rightfully so. It has earned that narrative. It has. Downtown has earned
Yes
that.
and no.
Yes
it
and
hasn't
no.
earned that harsh of a narrative.
Maybe not that harsh, but it has, because there are. I remember when they finally built back up downtown.
Yeah.
They built AutoZone Park in the late '90s, early 2000s. They added Peabody Place over there, which had Jillian's and Tower Records. Yeah, a record store.
I've heard.
Channel 3 did Live at 9 over there. I don't even know if they still do. I have no idea. But like, they built up downtown. Then FedEx Forum got built in 2005, and downtown was looking awesome.
Yeah.
Like, it was, they had modernized, kind of updated it, modernized it. Well, like, you know, you got to keep doing that, because 25 years later, it just starts to look, you know,
Well, and it, again,
like you've got to build the thing, you've got to keep adding and building
right.
to it.
But it really took off
and
again in like
renovating.
2019. I think that's when it ended up on the Condé Nast, like most places you need to travel to.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit, and that
And COVID
impacted
has-
all cities, but impacts cities like Memphis
Yeah,
so much.
it
And
has.
even now, like, wasn't planning to get on the soapbox today, but like one of my favorite coffee shops downtown is closing. Comeback Coffee, along with the
I heard about that.
plant store, which is where I get all my plants, called Greenhouse next door.
There's a
It's one of the
plant
best
store down
Oh my
here?
God, it's fantastic. You go in Comeback Coffee, you get your coffee, then you can even go sit now. They added tables to the plant store, so you could sit amongst the plants and enjoy your coffee, or you can sit in the
You
coffee
are
shop.
such a woman.
Yes, I am. But like, it was a wonderful space, and it's just they're closing down because it's a tough spot.
Mhm.
It's tough to own a business. It's tough to own a business downtown. And they reminded everybody, like, go frequent the places you love.
Yeah.
Because everybody's struggling. Everyone's just trying to survive, and half the battle is. Yeah. So again. Thanks a lot, Cleveland Cavaliers, for spending your time in Nashville.
Spending your time in Nashville.
Instead of spending a little money here in Memphis. I hope we win by 20. We got to take a break.
I hope we won by
We'll come
22.
back.
We
The
can.
Memphis Tigers play today.
At noon, right?
At noon. I love.
Against
Wichita State.
Wichita
The
State, that's
team
right. They beat South Florida.
And the team that, yes, Wichita State beat Memphis this year, but the team that knocked Memphis out of the tournament last year. Did you just do the shocker? Can't lose to the Shockers 2 years in a
we
row.
can't. I wasn't on camera for that. No, I'm not doing it now. I wouldn't do it now. I'm not
We'll
doing
take
it
a break.
anymore.
But yes, yesterday watching 16 games tip off before like 2 p.m. Central Time was a thing of absolute magic. I love this time of year. We'll get into the happenings of conference tournament action yesterday, along with Memphis Tigers, who play later today when we come back.
Fly by King. Wheels through the lane, now spins back. Ja hangs, puts it in! Oh, what a shot by Morant in the clutch! So hot. Oh, Jared said no! Because he doesn't put on a play, comes up with a monster block.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Shinedown. Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit shinedown.com.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
We are in March, which is Women's History Month. True. And we were talking about how do we kick off the show? What can we talk about? And we were like, why don't we talk about women's shoes? The Sabrina one. Okay.
Can't go wrong. Right? That's a good shoe.
And the two, you could argue, is even better. But the one's
you can't
fine.
have the two without the one.
Yeah.
Though.
In the month of February, the Sabrina 2 was the second most worn shoe in the NBA in minutes played. The Sneak Fest Show, live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
Debo traded from San Francisco to the Commanders for a 5th-round pick. There's no other sport where you would get a player of his ilk for a 5th-round pick.
Over under total yards for Debo. If they set it at 1,000, you think he hits that over?
Total yards?
Total yards from scrimmage. Total yards.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
We had big classic news from the Southern Heritage Classic last week when it was announced Arkansas Pine Bluff and Alcorn State will be the two classic participants.
Being a part of the classic is a big deal. It's the 3rd year for UAPB and the 1st year for Alcorn. So I'm just glad we were able to get it done.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
It is March Madness. Memphis Tigers play Wichita State to start their AAC tournament quest later this afternoon. A 12 o'clock tip on ESPN2. Quick hitter, Roser. The Tigers, are they winning the AAC championship? When we're back here on Monday, have they won the AAC championship? Yes or no?
Yes.
What seed are they in the NCAA tournament?
7.
Okay.
If they don't, they're an 8.
Yes, agreed.
And the biggest question, honestly,
yes,
what does the committee do with Duke? Is Duke a 1 seed without Cooper Flagg? Now, this is why they're still going to be a 1, is because it has not been determined that it is season ending. I remember when Kenyon Martin did.
Yes.
Tom Izzo has his national championship because Kenyon Martin broke his leg here at FedEx Forum. And Cincinnati was going to be the number 1 overall seed, and they dropped to a 2 seed because it was known Kenyon Martin, the National Player of the Year, is going to be out for the season now, is out for the tournament. But Cooper Flagg has not been ruled out, so Duke's probably going to be a 1.
But it's
if
not
you
just
wanted
Cooper,
to put us on an
just Cooper Flagg.
It's not just Cooper
Him
Flagg.
and Malik Brown.
If you wanted to put us on an 8-9 game and have
You wanna
Duke
be
be
in
the
Duke
1,
region?
let's rock.
No.
Let's rock.
All right.
I'll play Duke.
If I'm Duke, all the conversation now is, will Cooper Flagg?
Yeah.
Could Cooper Flagg be available for today? Hell no.
No.
John Shire was like, it's looking unlikely. I'm like, unlikely. I saw that man in a wheelchair. And I know he came back to the bench and he was fighting to come back. It was brutal. I turned on that Duke-Georgia Tech game.
We had it on
Right before the incident.
Yeah.
Like, I turn it on. I'm watching the replay of the block that he had. I see Duke is down. I was getting ready to do a little afternoon workout. I was like, sweet. I'll watch Duke try to mount and come back and have a chance to watch Cooper Flagg this afternoon for my first of the college basketball games to watch. And then immediately goes up for that rebound and comes down. And it was just brutal. Like, whenever you see something like that, it makes you so sad. And then they cut to the parents, which makes you so sad. And then it was a bizarre moment on the broadcast where they're like, well, if I know his parents, they're worried for him, but they're most concerned about Duke getting this win. And I was like, what?
It's so...
About? It was so weird. But Duke did come back and get the win.
They did.
I think the bigger question is, do we ever see Cooper Flagg in a Duke uniform again? Not do we see Cooper Flagg in the ACC tournament. I don't think there's any way or reason. I know he'll want to come back. He seems to be that
He's
kind
not playing
of guy.
in the ACC tournament. He'll play, I bet.
He'll play in the NCAA tournament.
So I doubt he plays the first game because they probably believe they can win the first game without him. It depends on who that 8-9 game is. I do wonder if they feel like they could, you know, if they could win the 8-9 game without him. How long is Brown out? Is he done?
Unclear.
Okay.
But it was a re-injury to the shoulder injury that he had already been
dealing with.
Yeah.
Yeah. I honestly don't know if it even matters, but
do you think if Duke, this was just so sad.
Well, no, my take is I think Auburn's going to beat the crap out of everybody in the tournament.
Interesting.
I think they're going to have a UConn-like run.
Interesting.
I think that they're going to have one close game. It'll probably be the 8-9 game. It'll be a close game. And then once they get to the Sweet 16, they're going to take off.
I was going to say, if Duke does not have, let's say Cooper Flagg can't come back. Do you think Cooper Flagg saw the Utah Jazz team wear those white headbands and was like, nope, I have no interest in
Cooper Flagg's he's got more swag than to be in Utah. He's got too much swag to be in Utah.
He's got too much swag to be the fourth big white guy on the Utah Jazz.
Yeah, he needs to go to Washington because
Washington needs the most help of anybody. Washington is single-handedly the worst team.
In more ways than one.
That was good, Rosie.
Yeah.
That was good. Who can save our nation's capital?
The next great white American basketball player.
No, I was curious watching, just because of the conversation. I've never really believed that Cooper Flagg would return to Duke. It just seems so silly. And I know NIL, whatever. But if he can't make a genuine run at a national championship, if that is something that is enough, given that he can make a lot of money still, like it's not as cut and dry as it used to be. And if this is the kind of thing that could propel him to think, hey, I didn't get to go chase one of my number one goals in my one season in college. Do I come back at that point?
Okay,
I know that is a long shot, and it is crazy.
Here's the thing. What if? So it's already been known PJ Haggerty is probably going to cost you over $2 million. Yes. Let's say $2.5 to $3.5 million. If that's what PJ Haggerty costs, Cooper Flagg's at least getting $10 million. Yes. It's at least $10 million to play at Duke next year.
And they would do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
In a heartbeat.
If I was another school,
I would try to steal him for 12.
Like if I'm an SEC school,
gets crazy. But yeah.
Like I'd go all for like 10. I'd go all for like 12, 13 million to try to get him.
Yeah.
So what's the number?
I know there were a lot of crazy finishes in the NCAA tournament, and we'll get into it. But there is one thing that I really want to make sure that we get to, because I want to share it with you because I find it very important.
You sound serious. Hang on.
It's really serious.
Okay. It doesn't sound serious. I don't. You don't sound.
Where are you
serious
going?
Here. Sorry. This microphone just gets in the way.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for not having anything in the way of the serious moment.
Yeah.
It's not really that serious. It's actually
No, it literally covers up your face. It covers up your face.
My favorite thing about March Madness is just the random ish that we learn along the way.
Yeah.
Like just the dumb, weird, random, fun, emotional, sometimes stories that pop up in the middle of broadcasts. And you see seeds planted during conference tournament week that can bloom and blossom into something bigger. And I think we had one of those moments yesterday because I was watching the BYU-Iowa State game on the abomination that is the Big 12 tournament court. So everybody who's watching any Big 12 game should get immediate props in their life for sticking through it, despite your eyeballs having a kaleidoscope effect, thanks to the Big 12. But BYU ends up winning that game. BYU has won 9 in a row. Learn BYU has beaten the last 4 ranked opponents that they faced. Yada, yada, yada. That's good. That's fine. That's dandy.
BYU better without Mark Pope?
Can have those questions. Cool. But then I find out that one of BYU's players' great-grandfather invented tater tots. Invented tater tots, Roser. Richie Saunders, who led BYU in the win yesterday. We're like second half, midway through point. The announcers are just casually talking about Richie Saunders, and then they go, was that before or after his great-grandfather invented tater tots? So I, capital J journalist, went to investigate Richie Saunders' great-grandfather, and luckily somebody else has done the legwork to discover that he really did invent tater tots.
So wait, how do you invent tater tots?
Well, I went to MormonWiki.com, which is a thing which keeps track of influential and famous Mormons, and Francis Neffy, he went by Neef Grigg, is credited as the inventor of the tater tot with his brother, Golden T. Grigg, who co-founded Ore-Ida Foods, Hello Potatoes. In the late 30s, these two bought rights to a homestead in Oregon. Among their customers, Joe Albertsons, who started the Albertsons supermarket chain.
Yeah.
And they bought a bankrupt frozen food plant in Ontario, Oregon at an auction in 1951 because after World War II, a frozen food craze swept the U.S. where Americans bought 800 million pounds of frozen food between 1945 and 1946. And Neef wanted in on the business, so they mortgaged their farm so they could afford a down payment on a flash freezing plant in northeastern Oregon. They end up freezing potatoes. They end up taking potato scraps, mashing them together, season them, bake them, voila, the tater tot was born. And now, all these years later, one of his descendants is leading BYU through the Big 12 tournament. This is what March is for. It is for finding out things like this.
Wait, what is his name?
The player or the grandfather?
The guy who invented the tots.
Francis Neffy Grigg. And Ore-Ida owns the copyright name to tater tots.
No, that's what I want. You know how Ore-Ida, they also marketed a coin-shaped version called Crispy Crowns.
I wonder why that one didn't take off. Tater tots is perfect. It has alliteration.
Yeah.
I am so grateful for this invention. I love tater tots. Who doesn't love tater tots?
Napoleon Dynamite kept him alive, too. So tots.
Can I have some of your tots,
Can I have some of your tots?
Some of your tots. Anyway, I was thrilled about this information. Shout out to the Cougars at BYU.
Yeah.
BYU, they keep having cool stuff. Their Cougar mascot, one of the best mascots, one of the best dancers in all the mascot land. And then I saw a video of their baseball practice the other day, and I was like, I can't believe this is a real location that a college baseball team practices in. It had the mountains in the background. It literally looked AI generated. So that's where they're at. That's what I was focused on by the end of yesterday's basketball action. There were obviously much better games. That was a decent game itself. The Arkansas-Ole Miss ending was nuts. It was fun from a Memphis perspective watching Matthew Morrell versus DJ Wagner face off. But this was the end. Misses the 2 free throws, and then it is going to be Sean Padula.
We were on live with the odds couple. Me, Fish, and CJ were at when that happened. And CJ and I had the same reaction. If you're Arkansas, what the hell are you doing? Like how?
Also, you would come back down what, 15?
Well, you just don't let the white guy walk into the 3. Like you cannot do that. There's a reason he is out there.
Lessons of March.
Lessons of March.
Yeah,
he is literally the only white guy they have on the court. How are you not stepping up?
Okay, so riddle me this. What was dumber, not guarding the one white guy on the court or the end of the Louisville-Stanford game where the Stanford player literally just gifts the ball back to Louisville? It was a tie game. Watch this. So Louisville has the ball. 3, gonna miss. Stanford rebounds. Oh, there you go. Bingo, bango, game winner.
Oh, my gosh.
That is one of the most painful ways you will ever lose a basketball game.
That's terrible.
Like, if you're that kid, if you're that young man, please stay off the internet. We've seen so many players crying in this tournament, and it's made me very sad.
I saw the Kansas State guy, the Indiana guy yesterday.
Indiana guy,
I don't think he cried, though. The Indiana guy didn't cry.
But he was talking about, like, death threats. And
he's like,
how awful the internet
your DMs are.
There's something linked with Purdue, too. I hate Purdue right now. Sorry, Zach.
Yeah, Matt Painter said something about Indiana fans.
The Big Ten referees gifted Purdue a win over USC last night. Just
what do you mean gifted? How did they do this?
Horrible foul call.
I did not watch you. So I was not watching Purdue USC.
Terrible foul call at the end that gave Purdue free throws, and then they won the game. It was just dumb.
Okay.
It's fine. It's not like USC men are going very
right. Y'all aren't a thing. Musselman's got it. He needs another.
But anyway, I do genuinely feel bad for. They're making a lot of money, but they, at the end of the day, are kids, young people in college who are having to learn at a way faster rate what it is like to deal with just a tsunami of hate coming at them every single day because of the money they make, because of sports betting and what happens to people, and because people just suck. People are evil.
Not all people
are
evil.
Not all people are evil.
So I've had to change my perspective and view on things because I feel myself when I feel that way too, and I get God, people suck and just it drags me down. So I can't do that.
How about people
I can't do
online suck?
I'm also trying to avoid saying I'm trying.
I'm trying.
Trying to do this. I want to do this.
What are you saying instead?
You just effing do it.
I'm trying to avoid saying.
It's my therapist. It's my therapist has told me. He goes, just effing do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
My therapist has similar.
He's a guy right over at
values.
Methodist. Our buddy, listener, Randall, referred me to him. It's who he goes to.
Good.
Oh, he's amazing. He's the best.
Yeah.
He has a hoodie. He's a black guy. He's a black guy. He has a hoodie that says. He's a black guy.
Okay.
He has a hoodie that says.
I can't wait to hear what the hoodie says because
it says,
you've said it twice.
It says.
Sure
Well, this is the last time I saw it. It says the hoodie says it's for sale. It says black people, you deserve therapy. And I said, Dr. Tim, I would love to support you, but I don't think I can get away with wearing that, that hoodie. He's like, no, man, you're totally good.
Should wear the hoodie.
He was like, you're good.
I don't think
I was like, all right.
You can just talk about it. It was a good. Everybody deserves therapy.
Everybody deserves therapy.
Everybody. And I love to see you, a man, in therapy.
Yeah.
My husband.
I'm in therapy. I get my yearly physical.
God, take care of your physical health, take care of your mental health. But for these like young people.
When you drink energy drinks like I do and smoke cigarettes for all those years, I don't smoke anymore, but like, yeah.
It's,
it's a good idea.
Got to make sure the body still functioning properly.
Right.
I feel that.
Right.
Anyway.
I watched Mississippi State, Missouri last night, some of that. So that Missouri team looks way different. Like, I just had it on. I wasn't, like, glued into it, but I'm watching them. That Missouri team could score points because I remember Mississippi State made life hell for Memphis to try to score. That Missouri team could score, which I've seen. I looked up some of their numbers, too, and it's like, God, they've lost games where they score like 85 points because they can't stop anybody either. But, man, if they get on a heater in the tournament, like, they can Missouri can, they could put up some points.
Yeah. All those SEC teams.
My prediction, I'm going to go ahead because Selection Sunday Sunday. I'll say this on Chris's show. I'm going to say it here. It doesn't matter if it's 6-11, 7-10, whatever that is. Memphis is playing Arkansas in the first round.
Oh, I hope so.
Memphis, Arkansas, opening round.
I hope so. Although I saw somebody say,
or it's going to be freaking Gonzaga.
If they know what's good for them, they would schedule Arkansas St. John's in the first round somewhere. Yeah. Like if the committee was with a flair for dramatic, and I think. But
St. John's is going to be too good of a seed.
Flair for dramatic.
St. John's is going to be too good of a seed, though. Arkansas is not going to be
a 2 seed, right?
Arkansas is not going to be worse than like a 10 or 11.
Probably.
So that's why I think Memphis could be a 6-11 or 7-10.
Okay, well, I want it
situated. If Arkansas had won that yesterday, they could get to the 8-9.
I don't want Memphis to play them in the first round because I would like it to set up an Arkansas. I want Arkansas St. John's. I want Cal versus Patino.
Well, that's not happening.
I want it desperately. Well, it should. They should think
about this. It could if they were a 10, 7-10, and then go to the second round. They should really think about this
when they set up the bracket. And they don't.
Yeah.
As somebody who. They not really.
Oh.
Like that's the last thing. But they should have somebody who's like a scriptwriter and be like, this would be the best. This would be the best reality television version of what you're going to get in the second round.
I will say, Calipari, if Memphis played Arkansas in the first round, it's not, but it's not the same as if he was still at Kentucky. It's not.
No.
It's not the same.
But it's still.
Because he's also not.
It still hits.
He's not like the coach. He's not regarded as that, as, one of the top 5 coaches in the country like he was all those years at Kentucky.
I think it still carries a pretty heavy.
Maybe so. I don't hate Calipari like a lot of people do, though.
I can't.
I want those days back.
Here for those times.
I want those times back.
My biggest issue was the UCLA game. So
yeah,
as a young UCLA fan
who
at that time
went to USC.
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
we'll talk about it.
All right.
It ended up being a weird situation.
Yeah, that's
I loved
okay.
UCLA.
Yeah,
loved UCLA. That game, the Memphis UCLA game, was the first time I was ever allowed to wear like a team's colors to a Final Four game.
Yeah.
Because like we had to be so neutral, and like my dad coming off the committee,
Right.
and you could never.
Carl.
You dressed up Carl.
Yeah.
You dressed up.
He told me to call him Carl. I called him Mr.
True.
Benson. He said, no, I'm Carl.
At
I
least
said,
he didn't
okay.
tell you to call him Kamish.
We
still get that sometimes.
I would not do that. I don't
Hello,
think I
Carl.
could do that.
Some of his friends call, or like he has old players who call him coach, which really throws me
Yeah.
off from when he was a baseball coach. But anyway, that game meant a lot at the time. And now here we are, again, in Memphis, all these years later.
That was a screw job, Memphis being the 1 seed, having to play UCLA in Oakland.
Yeah. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, it is a 191 collab tonight, Grizzlies, Cavs, and we have Memphian. Bree coming in studio. She's got her collection tonight. She's got a performance at halftime, which I have been told from people who saw rehearsals that it is awesome. And I can't wait to get her takes coming up after a quick break.
Our fans have a huge impact on our ability to play to the level that we're striving for.
Drop off, Morant. Oh! Well, you wanted home crowd involvement.
I love those moments where you see our guys engaging in the fans and the fans just get pumped up.
They are standing in FedEx Forum.
I would hate to be on the other side with the opposition when FedEx Forum's rolling. That's such an unbelievable relationship that our group has with our fans.
When it's all on the line, you turn to the strong, the stable, the unwavering. To those with a history of raising their performance, to meet the moment. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard, bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Double your chances to win all month long in March with 2 big promotions. On Fridays, embrace the madness and win a share of $150,000 in cash and free play. On Saturdays, starting March 8th, go for the gold and win your share of up to $10,000 in cash and free play in the 80K Fool's Gold giveaway. Enjoy live entertainment all month long and play for your chance to win big in March only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 or up. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing compares to catching your Grizzlies IRL. And that all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Grizzlies tickets at Ticketmaster. Whether they're here at FedEx Forum or on the road, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live.
I never in a million years would have ever thought that John Cena's final run would be as a heel.
I love it.
I love it.
Once they saw this from The Rock.
They knew it. Everybody knew it except for Cody, which was so good.
Great camera work by
And then the
WWE.
kick. Yeah, I don't think WWE gets enough credit for the camera work and the production quality. I mean, it is incredible.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Grizz Nation gets set for tip-off 1 hour before every Grizzlies home game with the warm-up show. Get the latest news, notes, and analysis live from courtside at FedEx Forum.
This team is doing everything that Taylor Jenkins and his coaching staff envisioned it could do.
Join me, Lang Whitaker, along with Michael Wallace, Jessica Benson, and other personalities from Grind City Media, Memphis, and around the NBA. 1 hour before every home game, live at Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
Segment is Music Friday, which is actually perfect because we can do a little Music Friday 191 collab with Bree back in studio. She's been making the rounds. You were on the Chris Vernon show yesterday. You were on the warm-up show on Wednesday. But tonight is the night at Grizz Cavs. A reminder to everyone, you have to come to the game in order to get the collection, and the homemade collection will be available in the Grizz Den later tonight. How excited are you for this?
I'm super excited. I'm super excited. Like I was telling Carly, I was walking past FedEx Forum and I saw the clothes out. I was like, oh my God, this is really happening.
Do you have a favorite of them?
Yes. Well, honestly.
Is it like picking a favorite child?
Oh. Honestly, like, I really like all the pieces. My favorite is the jacket.
Okay.
But I really like all the pieces. But the jacket, yes.
You are wearing the jacket,
yeah.
So that would make sense with it. Where, for people who might have missed it thus far, the inspiration for Homemade and what this collection ultimately looks like that will be available tonight.
So the inspiration basically came from Memphis. The Memphis culture and how we do things here, it's a cultural shock. Like, everybody come to Memphis, they're like, oh, it's way different here. Especially the games, the vibe at the games is crazy. Like, me experiencing that, I was like, yeah, we come way different than everybody else. Also, music, food, dancing. We have a different type of style that people try to mimic, but they can't mimic. So that's where Homemade came from. It's rooted from here. So yeah.
I love the details on everything. And
Thank you.
We always crush it with the 191 collabs, and there's always small details that the designers put in. Like this on the hat is one of my favorite things. The Berserk. Where did Berserk come from?
So Berserk came from, well, I was in college. I went to Jackson State, and Berserk basically came from people telling me, hey, your fit go crazy. So I was like, okay, you know what, since I'm always putting, nice clothes on, I might as well start a brand and start my own and wear my own clothes. So that's where Berserk came from. And I just used the first three initials of my name and put Zerk at the bottom, beside it, and I was like Berserk. So
I actually love it.
Big and bold, that's me.
Big and bold.
Yeah.
And you do fashion, you do music. It's so cool that you get to do both tonight.
Yes.
When they came to you, was it a package deal when they first came to you, or were you like, hey, I don't just do fashion, I actually do music too. Can we make something work?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
So like, well, they probably been on my page too. So the clothes and then music, like putting those two together is like such a big thing for me, because it's like I get to wear the clothes and perform at the same time. It's so dope, and I'm just blessed for the opportunity. So
I know yesterday you said some of your biggest inspirations, Kendrick, Doechii.
Yes.
Have you listened to the new Playboy Cardi that dropped this morning?
Not yet.
Did you say 3 Kendrick features?
Yeah, there's three Kendrick features. There's a couple of Travis Scott features. It's way too many songs. It's 30 songs. Way too many, right?
30 songs. That's a lot of music.
That's a lot. Let's talk about this.
The second song crushed, like the second song crushed.
What
it's
is
good.
the perfect album length, in your opinion?
I would say about 20.
Okay.
20 songs, only because 30 is like I get overwhelmed at that point.
Too.
It's like you drop 2 albums in one almost.
I agree.
Like, if so, just drop a deluxe later on. Let us like listen to a few and then drop a deluxe, and boom, we can listen to the rest.
Or you could be like Doechii and you just add another. Like she just added Anxiety to a re-release. And listen, sometimes I have issues with that, because then like that wasn't part of the album. Now you're just putting that on so that you can get, but like go for it. I want all Doechii numbers to go through the roof at this point.
Right.
For your performance tonight, like what's one word that you would use to describe what people are going to see at half?
I told the oh, was it? I think it was. What's his name? From the interview yesterday.
Vernon?
Yes, I told him yesterday that you're going to get like a Super Bowl experience in Memphis, like a small Super Bowl experience. I know a lot of people like, that's a big push, but I feel like it's going to be pretty good. The dancers are doing really good, the sound, everything. So I feel like the experience you're going to get today, is going to be great. So, yeah, I feel like to describe it, well, I really can't. It's just me. Like, I feel like I'm going to be myself, and that's really all I can say about it. It's going to be fun.
What'd you say, Jalen? Our director is in the air, and he says it's going to be epic.
Yeah.
Epic is the word. Are there like lots of, do you like to put secret references? Not so secret sometimes if you know them, but like that became part of Kendrick's halftime show, was the fun in everybody trying to figure out like, what was he meaning by this? What was he meaning by that? Do you like to do that kind of stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
I would say like the outfits, like the attire, kind of goes with the theme because Memphis, we stand on business everywhere we go. So like the ties and all that, you're gonna see all that in the halftime show.
Okay.
So I would say that's one of the things that I did put in there was like, okay, yeah, we standing on business tonight. So yeah, there you go. Boom.
I was listening to your new song earlier today, Pinky on My Grills.
Yeah.
When did that drop? That dropped
last week. Yep.
Okay, so it's really new.
Yeah.
So how often are you putting out new music these days?
I would say every 2 to 3 months because when I drop a record, I like to promote it until you get tired of it because it's like if it's old to us, it's new to somebody else. So I just keep promoting it until it's time to drop the next record. And I have so much music. Like, my catalog is huge.
Yeah. Do you feel like that's the key these days? Because, like, obviously you're growing here and you're big and you have a name for yourself. But, like, what's the ultimate goal for you? Do you want to take off in music? Or is there one? Okay, so music would be...
I would say both.
Both. I think we can manifest both, absolutely. And, like, they kind of go hand in hand, though, right? Because if your music takes off, then more people have eyes on your fashion and your designs as well. So it all works. But, like, what's that process like as an artist these days? Because sometimes it just feels so random when someone just hits and then the next thing you know they're everywhere. And so as you're trying to have your music hit more ears, take off, like what kind of things are you doing online with your team to try to make it so that yours is the next one that hits the wave?
I would say I'm doing more of the groundwork. So what I mean by that, social media works, but at the same time, people, they want to build a relationship with you. Like a lot of new artists, they don't build relationships with their fans. Yeah. So what I do, I actually go outside, talk to people. Like I'm actually interacting with people because you give them like a better authentic feeling about you. So that I feel like that's working as well. Cause like yesterday I went out talking to everybody about the drop and it was like, yeah, I'm gonna be there, yeah. So it's just interacting and promoting myself, like doing street work. Like my dad told me, he was like, old school always work. Yeah. Cause back in the day, they didn't have social media like that. So they had to actually go out there, travel, meet people, network. So doing that plus social media, yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
What a concept. Talk to people. Get out, do the things, all that. So you go to Jackson State and then you end up back in Memphis. Right. Like in terms of, there's so much music here. So like your hometown happens to be a place where you can like foster this goal and are able to be back in the place that you call home and a place that means so much to you. How much travel do you do when it comes to your music?
Honestly, I'm more of like a homebody.
Yeah, well, you're homemade.
Yeah.
You know? So, again, 191 collabs tonight at FedEx Forum.
So I feel like at first I was like, let me move to LA. Let me try to make this work out there. But then I was like, why do I feel like I have to leave the city to make it? You can still do what you need to do in your hometown. And I feel like I build a community around me here. And I really like the producers, I like the artists, the writers, everybody here, because I feel like we have talent here. We don't have to go elsewhere to go make it. I feel like you can make it here, so.
So who are some of the people here that you think more people should be listening to?
Ooh. I got a list. Hold on, let me see. Okay, I do like Mad Beats. Like, he's a producer. Yes. And his beats are crazy. And people need to listen to him. Blue Levy's, he's super dope. He was actually performing at halftime, like, a week ago with Unapologetic. Thinking of another artist. It's a lot. I like Taliba. And one more female artist. I like Lena J. It's a lot of artists, honestly.
I know, there's so much. But I always love when I have a chance to talk to someone who's local and who's in the industry because there's so much stuff out there, you miss great stuff.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much, and I hate to call it underground because one person's underground is somebody else's favorite artist and they listen to them all the time. But it's just like, we're so inundated with content that it's impossible to keep up with things.
Right.
Like, I always trust the source when things that I'm not gonna know at this point.
Yeah.
So no, those are great recommendations. Thank you. We'll add them to the list.
Gotcha.
Would you ever want to do like one of the music festivals here? Is
Yes.
that like a goal for you?
Yes, that is a goal.
Okay.
So like last year, my goal was to build my catalog because I was dropping so much. I was running out of music. I was like, hold on. Let me build my catalog, and then the year after that, do more shows. And the crazy thing is just been coming like super easy lately. Like I've been putting the groundwork in, and then boom, shows. Like people been calling, let's do a show. So that's my goal. I definitely want to do something with,
We got to get you on the river.
Yeah.
We're going to make it happen. They're going to see the Super Bowl halftime show at Grizzlies Cavs tonight, and then it's going to happen. Before we go, get your music inspo. Who's your fashion inspo? Like,
My
where are you
fashion
taking your biggest
inspo?
inspiration from?
I would say Wisdom.
Okay.
Y'all know who Wisdom is?
Mm-mm.
Well, look him up. Wisdom Kai.
Okay.
Or is it K? I think it's K. I be saying stuff wrong sometimes.
Oh, I know this. Yes.
Yes. His fashion
He pops
is,
up on my TikTok.
It's crazy. I don't know if he make clothes, but I feel like people send him clothes and he just put it on. But he's super extreme and dramatic with his fashion. I like that. So
is that how you take fashion?
Yes.
Extreme.
Yes.
Dramatic.
Like,
yeah,
just
this
putting
for
on-
sure looks like something Jaron Jackson Jr. and Shai Gilgeous
yeah.
Alexander would wear. He would definitely, they definitely would dress like this.
It's big and bold. Like, soon as you see me, homemade. I'm just a
gonna
walking
say-
billboard.
Yes. This is what just
Yes,
came up. I remember
exactly.
that at the Met Gala.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the dream.
Yes,
I want to get one. It's always hard though because for the Grizzlies, like I desperately want Jaron Jackson Jr. to have his Met Gala moment, but it's in the middle of the playoffs, so it's
Right.
like you actually want them to be able to do it because you want them to still be rolling in the postseason at that
Yeah.
point in time. But it is such a like springboard into fashion consciousness for people who don't just follow sports. That like really takes it to the next level. I think that's the first place I saw Wisdom was that red
Yes,
outfit from the Met
yes.
Gala, so then it all comes back together. So when you're designing here, are you able to do most of your stuff here in Memphis, or do you have to outsource and go to other places?
Sometimes I make my own clothes.
Cool.
But if it's like a bulk order, I outsource. Yes, most definitely.
Were you always into fashion? Like when you were a kid, were you the kid who came to school dressed in something different?
I always was like, I used to take my mom clothes out her closet, and I'd be like, Mom, can I wear this? And she'd be like, no, wear your outfit. So I used to put it in my bag and go change, and then come back. She's like, what you got on? I was like, Mom, I want to wear this. I didn't want to wear that. And then I started making my own clothes because I'm like, okay, so I'm going to just start making my own clothes because I like to be different, and I didn't want the same thing everybody else had. So I'm like, let me just make my own clothes then. Okay. And I started off as a little girl then, and it was just from like needle and thread. That was it. Like, I used to make a full garment with just needle and thread. Then my mom, she got me a sewing machine. I was like, oh, it's over with. It's over with.
Well, now everything's over with.
Yeah.
We have everything. So obviously, the jacket that you have on, we have this T-shirt, which I'm thrilled to now be the owner of. I'm not to brag, but I love this, and I love
Go
the
berserk.
berserk. Go berserk. Don't go
Yeah.
berserk. Go berserk.
Berserk.
Forever and always. We've got another beanie to add to the collection, which is always good. These
And then
always
the inside is crazy.
The inside's amazing. It's
Yes.
amazing.
That's
I wore the beanie yesterday.
Oh, it felt great on your head?
Yeah.
Yeah.
it
Good
can
stuff.
help everybody.
Right.
But did you see Asia Wilson in her new line that's coming out with Nike with her signature shoe?
No, I haven't
she
seen it
lined,
yet.
It hasn't come out yet, but she has this like great pink set, and she lined the hoodie with satin because her mom used to get on her for always like not having her hair done when she was going through the airport and whatever, and she would wear. Why can't I think of
a bonnet?
A bonnet, thank you. I just recently, I'm new to the bonnet world. Just started sleeping in them, and it has changed my life. So again, it can help everybody.
Yeah.
But I love that. That's a great little extra detail on that. And then we have
Thank
the
you.
homemade T-shirt. We have the hat. come early. I feel like this is all going to sell out.
Yes.
So it's also a great game for it with Grizzlies Cavs. Have you always been a Grizzlies fan?
Look, I told them I was a Chicago Bulls fan, but now I'm a Grizzly fan.
Okay, that's fine.
It was just because of my dad.
Okay.
Yeah. He's a 49ers fan, too, so I was like,
my
I'm a
husband's
49ers
a 49ers fan. And Roser's a 49ers fan.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Go Niners.
Yeah.
Briz, I look forward to seeing everybody have the chance to get the stuff tonight. Can't wait for the halftime show. And we're going to have you back on because I feel like this is just the beginning for you. And everything's going to take off from here. So be sure to come out tonight, 191 Collabs at FedEx Forum. You can get this all at the Grizz Den before, during, after, whenever at tonight's game. But get there early because sometimes things sell out. I'm just saying. I'm just warning people. We are done for the day. Busy weekend ahead. Grizzlies Cavs tonight. Grizzlies Heat tomorrow. Tony Allen jersey retirement night. Yes, Rosa?
I know we usually do music, and so you're part of the music. We do have a little bit of movie news. I do think this is big movie news.
Okay.
Toy Story 5 had its first crew test screening in theaters June 19th, 2026. We're a year away, but
thanks, Rosa.
Big news.
Okay, also big
Love
news.
Toy Story.
Did you
I don't
see
go to movies. Toy Story is something I will go to the theater for.
You know what? I'm excited that you're excited.
You're right.
Yeah.
I'll go.
I watched the Lilo and Stitch live action trailer that came out a couple days ago, and everybody said how much it looked terrible. And I got emotional watching it. I love Lilo and Stitch, and I think it's going to be good.
Well, there you go.
At first, I was very anti. I was like, we don't need another live action. The girl they got to play Lilo is adorable. She's perfectly cast, and Stitch is obviously not a real thing.
When does the Snow White thing come out?
Oh, I think that's like this week.
Oh, we don't like
They
that?
did that like a whole bunch of
100
times.
times.
Yeah.
What's wrong? What?
It's not supposed to be very good.
Oh.
They redid it like a couple times.
Which makes me sad.
Well, Gal Gadot's or Gadot, whatever you say, she's the Wicked Queen, right?
Yeah.
We don't like her? Okay.
Justice for Rachel Zegler.
Okay.
She deserves better.
All right.
It's okay.
I'm not tapped in, obviously.
Anyway, thanks, Roser.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see a lot of surprise guests supposedly coming to the Tony Allen jersey retirement night. We didn't really get into that, but
I have
cannot
heard
wait.
he's got over 150 people.
I've heard crazy rumors of who is going to be there at the game tomorrow. So we'll be back on Monday to talk about it all. I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. Get outside. It is beautiful out. We will see you then. Bye.